there and welcome back. It's Lisa from Critters'n Ink Designs in Ontario, Canada. And today I'm going to show you this really pretty bridal card that my friend Doreen made for a bridal shower that she's going to shortly. Isn't that so pretty? And to do this, she used the Dainty Delight stamp set and the Something Fancy stamp set. And on the inside of the card, she used "Here's to Beautiful Beginnings and Happily Ever After." And then she also used this floral, and "The Best Is Yet to Come" from the Dainty Delights. And then she also did this texturizing with the Fern 3D embossing folder that is in the annual catalog. And she also used the elegant border dies to create the front of the card. So you're not seeing my face today because I'm having a hair day. So we're just going to leave it at that. And let's get started. So to do this, I'm using, my card base is going to be the Basic White Thick. Grab it. So Basic White Thick. And then I also need a piece of Basic White for the front that is 3 by 5 3/8. And this is the piece that we're going to emboss. And then I also have a piece of Smoky Slate that is 2 by 5.5. So the first thing I'm going to do is emboss this with the fern. Thank you. So when you're embossing with the 3D folder, you just use your #1 base plate, your #1 base plate, and your gray #4 plate. And then I'm just going to run that through. And there's our fern. Isn't that gorgeous? And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my plates, and I'm going to use my #1 base plate. And then I'm going to use my thin die adapter, which is plate #2, and then 2 plate #3s. So I'm going to lay down my plate #3. And she used this die here. Isn't that beautiful? Now I have done another card with this, and I'll try and find the video and link it to the top. Okay, so I'm just going to lie this like this on the top. I want to make sure that that's centered. And then we're just going to run it through. Okay, cross your fingers. Okay, so there is our front of our card. So I can see the center is not coming out really well. I'm just going to run that through one more time. So I'm going to let's see if I can zoom out. Oh, here you can see that. It's finding it awfully close. So my die, I'm going to sit my die back, wiggle it back into where it was. And I'm just going to put a little piece of cardstock in the center to add a little bit more shim. There. So we'll run it through this way. sounds like I'm breaking bones, doesn't it? There we are. So now this is all coming out quite nicely. All right. Okay, let me just get rid of this. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and fold our card base. And I've got my bone folder. I'm just going to burnish that edge. And next I'm going to place my gray, my smoky slate behind the cutout, and I want it to just line up with the raw edge of the card base. Like this. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along this edge. I don't need a lot, I don't think. So I'm just got glue all over that. So I'm just going to line this up with the glue side up. Like that. And then I'm just going to close the card right on it. And there we go. So we have that like that. Isn't that pretty? And then the next thing I want to do is I have a piece of this white netted ribbon with the little dots on it. Now this is retired, so you could, use any white ribbon that you have. And I'm just going to wrap it around my fern piece and just tie a bow in the middle. Now I think she used a bow jig, but we're going to rough it here and just make a bow. Go around the back. Oh, let's try that again. Bows are so fiddly. Especially this is so fine. Very fine and thin. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. Cheapers. Holy smokes. Okay. Let me grab my snips here. There we have it. So cute. Okay, and then now I'm just going to glue this right on the front of this card. This is a very simple card, but it's so elegant. And because it's embossed, I used a little bit more glue than I normally would use because it's pretty bumpy. And I want it to sit nice and flat. There. That just looks so pretty already. bit more glue under here. There. So I'm going to pop a big block on top of there just to have it flatten and dry. And then I'm going to take a scrap of basic white and my Versamark, and we're going to do some embossing. So I'm going to use The Best Is Yet to Come from the Dainty Delight. Okay, so I've got my stamp, and I need my embossing buddy. So I've got my embossing buddy, and I'm going to stamp this in Versamark. And Versamark is just a clear, very sticky ink. It's called a watermark ink, but it stays sticky long so that you can put embossing powder on it. And the embossing powder sticks to it. There it is. Okay, so I'm just going to sprinkle some silver embossing powder onto it. And the silver is part of the metallics embossing powder group. So you get 3 when you order the metallic one. You get gold, silver, and copper. So there we have it, in with the silver powder on top. So I'm just going to cover this up, get it out of the way, and take my heat tool here. And we're just going to emboss that until the embossing powder is melting. Right, if you can see it changing, it's going shiny. Yeah. Isn't that sweet? So pretty. All right. So now I'm going to give that a little trim. And I'm just going to use my mini guillotine here. And I'm going to trim this at about, I guess about 1 3/4. 1 1/2, I think it's going to be too close. Maybe 1 5/8. So I've got 1 5/8. I'm just going to even it out a little bit. So I think I will end up actually almost, I'm going to cut off 1 more 1/8. 1 5/8 there. Oh, that's 1 3/8. So 1 3/8. I'm just going to cut off the top a smidgen, because to me it's just a little bit high. There. Okay, so now I'm going to find a piece of gray scrap, and basically I'm just going to glue this on here and trim it at about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. I do that quite often. If I have a sentiment that is kind of an odd size, instead of trying to do the math and figure out how many eighths I want my background to be, I just glue it on a corner and then just trim away what I think looks pretty good. So let me just, So what I'm doing with this, if you have one of these mini trimmers, they came out a few years ago as a bonus for people who are signing up. Oh, and by the way, as a demonstrator, we get to buy these things, so it's kind of fun. So what I'm doing is I'm lining up the edge of this paper guide with the edge of the white cardstock underneath, and that will give me a straight line. So you can see it's pretty close to 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So I'm just lining up the edge of the paper guide with my basic white and giving it a little snip. So there you go. So very good. And that is going to go on the front of the card with dimensionals. And then this is just going to sit right here like that. And then on the inside, I'm just going to stamp this little floral. Isn't that cute? I think that's what she did. Yeah, she just did the 2 little florals. So that's what we're going to do. So let me grab my Smoky Slate ink. And my floral. I'll just get some scrap paper here. Now, I probably should have stamped this before I did all the work on the front, so cross your fingers. That wasn't very good planning on my part. So let's see how that's going to stamp. That's beautiful. So I'm just going to pop one kind of in the middle up here. And then she's got one down in the corner over here. Beautiful. And then we need our sentiment, which was from the Something Fancy. And it's "Here's to beautiful beginnings and happily ever afters." So we'll grab that one. And I'm just going to put a piece of washi tape on here so that I don't have to fight with it when I go to take it off my block. And you'll see I did a quick video. If you look at my YouTube channel, you'll see a little quick video about this tip and how to mount the rubber stamps. So you have another block here. There we are. Okay, and here's to beautiful beginnings and happily ever afters. There. How pretty. There. So there's our card. And of course, no card is complete without some bling. And I'm just going to use, I think for this one, simpler is better. And I'm just going to use my basic rhinestones. Let's see where Doreen put hers. So she has one here. And then she has a few over here. So she put one in the middle of this element here. And then one here. That is so pretty. And one here. There. How beautiful. So, so pretty. Now for the envelope, she just, let me grab an envelope here. And she just used the same floral element and stamped the flower on the front of the envelope. Make sure I have it right side up, which I didn't. And there. So there's our bridal card. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? So I hope that you like this little quick tutorial. Feel free to copy this and send it to someone who is deserving of such a beautiful card. Everything that I've used will be listed below. And if you have any questions, as always, feel free to drop me an email at critters'nink@gmail.com. Thanks so much. Have a super afternoon, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.